Aloha everyone, it's Cindy from Stamped with Aloha. Today I'm going to teach you how to create a super quick treat pouch that has a coffee theme to it. So let's go ahead and get started on today's project. So I'm going to be working with the Playing in the Rain stamp set. I'll be using the turtle as well as the words "Oh Happy Day." So to begin, I have a piece of evening evergreen cardstock. It's 3.5 inches by 5.5 inches. I placed it on my Simply Score tool, and we are going to score this at 1 1/4, and then again at 2 3/4. Then I'm going to turn it on the long side, on the 5.5 side, and I'm going to score it one more time at 4 3/4. Okay, that's all the scoring there is. Okay, next we're going to cut off these two side flaps here. So I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm going to cut on the bottom like that and cut this off on the side. And then I'll do the same thing on the opposite side. And I'm just gonna miter the corner just a tiny little bit. Okay, once you've removed those two side pieces, I'm gonna just take and I'm gonna fold it. Now, this favor would work great with designer series paper. I just wanted to do it out of this particular color, and I wanted to layer a piece of designer series paper on the top of it. So this one's gonna be a little bit thicker and it will require a little bit more drying time. I'm gonna go ahead and fold the bottom. And now we're ready to glue it together, okay? You could use tear and tape. I have liquid glue handy, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that. I'm gonna go ahead and fold it in, and then I'm gonna take and put a little bit of glue along the edge. You don't wanna put too much glue so that it doesn't ooze out. We'll put a really thin layer of this glue. Now this glue is very strong, and we are definitely gonna give it time to dry. So I'm gonna press it down for a minute, and then I'm gonna just take my bone folder and just really burnish it in there. And then you could even take something heavy and set something heavy on top of it. Because we are gonna put a treat inside of it, we wanna make sure that this is really, really bonded together well. Okay, even more so for the flap, because on the flap here, we're gonna fold it up, and now that's going over 2 pieces of cardstock. So we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna add the glue, then I'm gonna burnish it a little bit. For the next step, we're gonna add a piece of designer series paper. This is Fancy Flora. I've cut this piece of paper at 1 1/4 by 4.5 inches. So I'm gonna get out my glue, and then I'm going to glue this on. All right, now we're ready to do our stamping. So for the stamping, I'm gonna be using Memento ink. I'm gonna ink up the turtle image, and I'm gonna stamp him on a scrap piece of paper. And then I'm going to stamp the words "Oh Happy Day" on this banner. Now this banner here, it's one of my favorite sets. It's called Stylish Shapes, and we're gonna stamp the "Oh Happy Day" just on the edge right here. For the next step, we're gonna color the turtle. So I'm gonna be using a series of Stampin' Blends, and don't worry, I'm gonna make this part go fast. And when it's all said and done, this is what he's gonna look like. Of course, we used our Flirty Flamingo light. This is always on my table because we needed to add the rosy cheeks. Okay, so the turtle is done and the banner is done, but do you notice anything about the turtle? So if we look at the original turtle here, he's holding a flower. And so what I did is, rather than use the dies to die cut him that comes with this set, I just used my paper snips and I cut a little closer than I would normally cut. And I cut around the turtle's arm like that, so that we would cut the flower completely off, right? So that's how I did that. Super easy, right? So now we have a turtle with his hand up, and we need to put something in the hand. So remember I said that this was a coffee themed favor. So I wanted to add a coffee cup for the turtle. So the way that I did that is I went into the catalog to try to search out what I could make a little coffee mug with. And I pulled out this cup of tea set that's on page 13 of our annual catalog. And right here, you'll see there's this tiny little tag. What's neat about the teacup dies that come with that bundle is that you get not one, but two of those little tags. So you can make 2 coffee cups at a time, all right? And when you die cut them onto white cardstock, what you're gonna get is you're gonna get something that looks like this, okay? There's 2 of them, but we only need 1. All right, so to make the coffee cup super simple, I just turned it upside down. As you can see, I die cut that out of a scrap, you know? That's pretty good for me to use the scrap that I stamped on. And I'm gonna just take my paper snips and I'm gonna come to the bottom part of the tag, and right at the edge, I'm just gonna cut out to the edge at an angle, okay? And then you can either flip it over or you can do it backwards. So start at the edge and you're just gonna cut at a diagonal in. And then just take a look at it and if you wanna shape it a little bit better. But basically, by doing those 2 simple cuts, you've created a little coffee cup that's the perfect size for our little turtle. But let's do one step more and let's add some color to the cup. So I'm gonna just take my scrap paper here. I'm gonna lay the coffee cup on there, and using a shaded spruce blend, I'm just gonna do a little green line across the center so it looks like a little Starbucks cup. And then if you want to add an embellishment, you can. I'll show you 2 different embellishments that I used. I'm just gonna pick up one of these pool party dots right here and just add that to the center where the little mermaid image would be. All right, so now we're ready to put this all together. So we have our sleeve. I'm gonna take and add a couple of dimensionals on the back like this. And we're gonna add our Oh Happy Day right down the center, okay? Then we're going to take our turtle. I've added dimensionals and taken off the back already. And we wanna line him up so that he's right there where he's close to the sentiment. And then we'll take our little coffee cup, and using a glue dot, I'm just going to pop a glue dot on the bottom of the cup, press and lift it up carefully. These are really strong, I love these. And then I'm going to place that in the turtle's hand so that it goes right up by the turtle's mouth like that, okay? For the inside of this treat pouch, I went to Long's drugstore in Hawaii and I purchased these really cute freeze-dried instant coffee packets, 100% Kona coffee from the Hawaii selection. And I'm gonna slide that in here. And if you want, you can leave it out so that you can read that it's 100% Kona coffee. Or if you need to like put this in an envelope, I sometimes package these in clear envelopes, then you might wanna slide it in a little bit more and then let the treat be a surprise. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you have a happy and blessed day, and I look forward to stamping again with you real soon. Until then, aloha.